Hey, good morning friends, and welcome back to Vinnie's Vittles. It's great to be back with you this week. Sorry we missed you last week, but you know we had a little family situation. We got that taken care of. We're all back together now. We're just glad to be here. Glad to share with you another recipe on Vinnie's Vittles. This week we're going to be making a great recipe that a friend of ours shared with us, that Greek guy that we used to know that worked at a barbecue place of all places, and he was a great chef, and we got to be pretty good friends. And we would sit and talk a lot of times about the way he prepared things. And one day we were looking for a recipe for a shower that we were going to, and he encouraged us to try this one, and we loved it. So we're going to share it with you this week. It's an overnight recipe, so you have to do a little prep work prior to serving it, but you get it together one night, let it sit in the refrigerator overnight, and bake it up the next morning. And I think you're going to love it. It's a French toast casserole, but it does have to sit overnight, so overnight French toast casserole. I got all that out at one time. That's pretty good. So we're going to show you how to make it tonight, and I hope you enjoy it. And it's very simple, so it'll be fun for us to do together. Okay guys, here's all the ingredients that we're going to be using today to prepare this great recipe. You'll find the actual amounts and specifications in the description box below, where I may post the actual recipe. But basically we're going to use 12 slices of Texas toast. We're going to be using some milk, some chopped pecans, some vanilla extract, brown sugar, cinnamon, and nutmeg. We'll also be using 3 eggs, some heavy whipping cream, and some pure maple syrup, and a stick of butter, or half a stick of butter. So those are the ingredients that we'll be using today. Like I said, this recipe is a lot of fun to make, and it tastes incredible, so I can't wait for you to try it. So let's get started on what we do. Okay guys, we're going to start out by just breaking up our bread. Yeah, you can cut it, you can quarter it, you can do it how you want to do it. But all I'm going to do is just tear it apart, because I'm just a simple guy. And it don't have to be uniformed. It doesn't have to be perfectly done. But you're basically just going to tear up 12 pieces of bread. Now I said Texas toast because that's what we use, because it's a good thick bread. But if you want to use just old white bread, or if you want to use whatever kind of bread you want to use for French toast, you can use it. It's completely up to you. But again, we just find that this Texas toast works pretty good. But
it needs to be a bready bread.
Yeah.
Like, you remember when I made it with French bread?
French bread.
That was good that time.
Oh.
But I didn't rip the French bread up. I just sliced it and laid it in the pan. But I don't like that as much. I don't think it looks as cohesive.
Well, I mean, this right now kind of looks like a big mess, but
it won't when it cooks.
When it cooks, it'll look good.
Looks kind of rustic. Reminds me of that kind of meal.
But anyway, so what you guys been doing for the last 2 weeks since you hadn't got to talk to me?
Have you missed us?
I don't know if you missed us or not, but we missed getting to be with you guys and to talk and fellowship and just kind of chew the fat and make something good and fattening.
It's my fault. We apologize. I had to do some traveling.
I think it's your fault.
Well, I just had to. I had to travel to Pensacola, and if you don't know, I live in Alabama, and Pensacola is 3 or 4 hours away. And it was a very emotional time because it was my uncle, and it was just very emotional. So when I came home, I just wasn't. I got my crafting videos done. I did get through those. Were you mad at me about that?
Well, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, and my schedule's been kind of crazy this week with work too, so this kind of worked out. I hate it for everybody that they had to go an extra week without getting a video, but I'm sure you guys understand. You guys are pretty patient and know that we're doing our best and trying our best to make sure we get it done like you guys like it. We're going to be trying some more recipes real soon, some different things. We've
gotten 3 recipes in from viewers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm excited about that. We got one in. I'm going to go ahead and say this because I'm going to make you do it. My girlfriend from high school, Jenny, sent in a recipe, and you're going to love it. It's called Hunt Club Hash, and you're going to love that one.
So I get to actually use deer meat?
She uses venison, and I'm anti-venison, but we'll see.
So do I get to use venison, or do I have to
We'll talk about it. She's used beef before. I did ask. She's used beef before, so we can use beef.
Okay, well, we can do that. All right, so I've got the 12 slices of bread kind of chopped up. We're going to take the stick of butter, or the half stick of butter, and we're going to melt that in the microwave. That's the first step that we need to do next, so we'll be right back. All right guys, the next step we're going to do, we melted the butter. Now we're going to mix our dry goods, which is our pecans, our brown sugar, our nutmeg, and our cinnamon. So I'm just going to dump that in together. All right, great. Then we're just going to mix this together. Now, you know this brown sugar is kind of clumpy, so it's not real easy to mix up evenly, so you're going to want to work with that a little bit.
Can I use a different nut?
Oh yeah, I guess you could use whatever you wanted. We just like pecans. Now it calls for a half a cup of pecans, but we like a lot of pecans, so we put a little bit more than a half a cup. And you can do that as well with whatever you like as far as your nuts, or if you want to use walnuts, or if you want to use...
I think it'd be delicious with walnuts.
Probably so. It might even be good with almonds.
I think they're too crunchy.
But, you know, you could try whatever you want. Macadamia nuts.
Where do you get your pecans from?
Well, I get my pecans from my mother's house. My mother has, at one point in time, when we first moved to where they live now in 1970, there were 13 full-grown pecan trees on an acre lot.
That's a lot of pecans.
That's a lot of giant pecan trees, because we're not talking about baby trees, we're talking about full-grown rascals. And over the last 50 years, I guess, has it been 50 years? Not quite.
Don't count on
About 40 years. Is that right? A little over 40 years, 45 years. Golly, I'm getting old. Since they were at that house, all the trees except for one have either been cut down in the process, or either they were blown down by storms. So now I'm going to get in with my hands. Y'all know me, I like to use my hands more than I do utensils. Utensils, I should say. Maybe makes me not be too redneck.
That's for your mother, by the way.
That's right, because my mother always says, "You're such a redneck." All right, so that's the dry goods put together. Made a little bit of a mess there. All right, now we're going to set this to the side. We got 3 eggs, and we're going to beat those together real good. And then we're going to add the milk to that. So you just want to whisk them together. I'm going to use the same fork that I was using. Can't really whisk eggs with your fingers. I guess you could, but that's kind of gross. All right, then we're going to add the milk. Now this is going to be a mess. I am confident that I'm going to spill this.
Look at there. Look at there.
Might make a chef out of me after all.
Like a pro.
All right, now we're going to add our vanilla extract, and it takes half a teaspoon. Is that
1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon, and we just use the cap to measure it. That's just the way I've always done it. So hopefully that doesn't offend anybody.
That's cool how it just did that.
I know, that was pretty cool, wasn't it? And then we're going to
Look at
stir
it. That's wild.
and mix this together good. Okay guys, now it's time to mix it all together. So we're going to take our half a stick of butter that we melted, and we're just going to pour it in the pan. Now I like to just kind of shake it around a little bit to make sure we get a good covering on the pan. Alright, so now we're just going to lay the bread on the bottom, just kind of make a good layer across the bottom of the pan.
Just a flat layer or how?
Well, yeah, just about a flat layer. About, for us, since we used 12 slices of bread, we're going to put 6 slices across the bottom.
Roughly.
Roughly, because now it's all tore up.
It's really just half the
exactly
bread, isn't it? I mean, literally, it's just half the bread. I love how it looks with the torn up edges, and when you cook it, it's really pretty like that.
All right.
Maybe some in that corner.
Then once we get this in, like this, like you see, and just laying it around, trying to make sure we got a good covering. Then we're going to add the dry goods. Okay, so now we've got that, and we're just going to kind of sprinkle this on.
So basically, we're making like a lasagna here. You're just
layering
half
it,
and
yeah.
half is what we're doing. Half here and half in the end.
All right, and then we're going to add the next layer of bread. All right, so you just want to make sure that it's nice and flat. You don't want it to be, you know, humped up or lumped over, because you want to make sure that all the goodness of the milk and the eggs and the vanilla extract all mixed together good. If you get it, you know, a big hump in the middle, it won't work out right. And then we're going to add the other dry ingredients to the top again, making another layer, just like we did before.
When this bakes in the oven, the whole house smells amazing. Can you imagine?
Oh yeah, it's going to be incredible.
And now I have to wait till the morning.
Yep. All right, and then we're going to add the wet ingredients, which was the milk and the eggs and the vanilla extract. All right, so you don't want to apply all of this in one place. You want to make sure that you do it as evenly as you can. And I am not pouring it very good. Now we're going to cover it with saran wrap and stick it in the refrigerator overnight. I probably didn't cut off a big enough piece, knowing my luck.
That'll be good. I don't think it has to be airtight. The biggest thing is the bread will get, the bread might get a little stale if you don't cover it. And the whole point of this is for the bread to get soggy.
All right. First step is in the books. So now we're going to put it in the fridge, let it set overnight, and we'll be back with you in the morning. All right, good morning, guys. So we're going to go ahead and get our French toast casserole ready for the oven. It's been sitting in the refrigerator overnight, so we're just going to remove the cling wrap. All right, guys, we're going to take the last half of that stick of butter, and we're going to slice it up and just kind of lay the butter on top of the casserole dish, just to kind of give it a little bit of extra moisture before we put it in the oven. Now, this is not necessarily something that was in the recipe. This is just something that we like to do, just to kind of give it a little bit of extra moisture to make it extra gooey good.
I don't know if y'all can hear him, but that is our Labrador. His name is Amos Moses, and it is freezing in the south, and he had to come in last night, and he hates being inside. And so he is not happy. So you hope, if you can hear him, that's who that is. That's Mr. Moses.
And he hears us and wants to go outside.
And he is downstairs, and so he is not happy. He's like, I'm up. I'm ready to go.
Hello, I'm awake. He sounds like you.
I'm awake.
All right, so that added that. Now we're going to cover it and put it in the oven on 350. We've already preheated our oven to 350. We're going to leave it in the oven covered for about 25 minutes, and then we'll take the cover off and leave it in for about 15 or 20 more minutes, just to make sure it gets nice and brown. All right, cool. We'll see you back in a few minutes. Okay, guys, it's time to make the maple cream sauce that goes with our French toast casserole. We're going to use 8 ounces or about a cup of pure maple syrup. We're going to use a half a cup of heavy whipping cream, and we're just going to mix that in together with the maple syrup. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of butter, and we're just going to mix that all together, and we're going to bring it to a light boil. Okay, so we're just going to keep the spoon moving. All right, so this is what's going to add the finishing touches to our masterpiece today. Again, you just want to gently stir it and bring it to a light boil. All right, now we brought it to a light boil. It's all mixed together nice and good. So now we're going to turn it down to a low heat and let it simmer for about 5 minutes. Okay, guys, we got it simmering now. Everything is going perfectly well. As you can see, we're using our little electric eye. A lot of you asked questions about that, and just wanted to give you a heads up. We bought this one at Target. It's about 19 bucks, and it works perfect for what we're trying to do here. Makes it a lot easier for us to film than over there at the stove, so this works out great. Mame will look and see if she can find a link to it, but if she can't, you can pick it up at Target for about 19 bucks, 20 bucks, something like that. All right, guys, we're going to try to attempt to pour this beautiful maple syrup sauce into this jar. All right, guys, we're going to service up some of this beautiful dish. It's fresh out of the oven. Wow, it smells incredible. All right. Now we're going to add a little bit of our cream sauce. That smells awesome. All right. Now it's time for the taste test to see how good it's going to be. Y'all are jealous, I know. That is so good. Take another bite. A little bit more of the goodie in it. Good. You're going to love this. Be sure to let us know what you think about it. Subscribe. Share it with everybody you know on Facebook and Twitter, ever how you want to do that. Just let people know about Vinnie's Vittles, and we'll see you next week. Have a great day.